plan. Puck's dropped. We're underway here in Medicine Hat. The Tigers with it at center ice. Bat one down inside the Broncos zone. Puck loose in the right wing corner, picked up by Hunter St. Martin as he'll flip it around to the right point. That pass intercepted and cleared to center by the Broncos. Veti Väisänen on the back check, shovels it out to center, and that's going to be, they're saying, held onside by Mayo. He'll shoot, trickles to the goal mouth and cleared away by the Tigers. That probably shouldn't have turned into a chance there, Lance.
Well, we'll trust the lines person right on top of it. Austin Weisengerber had a good look.
Tigers break into the offensive zone down the left wing. McKenna drop feed to the right point for Pickford. He'll leave it up top for Wu, right point, left side. Pickford, one-timer, scores! 46 seconds in, the Tigers strike first here in game 2. 1-0 orange and black.
Well, you hate to see a knuckleball coming at you if you're a goaltender, and especially when it's off the stick of Bryce Pickford. You're expecting a heavy and hard shot. Reed Dick comes out to challenge. The puck goes from that top of the blue on the far side, Jonas Wu near side to Bryce Pickford in the dot, and doesn't get all of this in handcuffs. Reed Dick just a little bit, finds its way through. Tigers off and running 1-0.
Well, we talked about it in the pregame show. When will Bryce Pickford get the scoring started? I said there was an empty netter last night that started it. I was right.
Here we are.
Look at that. It carried on over. So the Tigers, 46 seconds in, get the scoring started.
Oh, his second of the playoffs, scored by number 27.
And the Broncos answer right back. Luke Misselbacher with a backdoor pass, and we are tied at 1, a minute 10 in. It's going to be Brady Burney with the tap home goal. Number 16 for Swiftcurrent squares us at 1.
Well, just as quick as the Tigers are able to score, the Broncos come back and find an answer of their own. Luke Mistelbacher on this near side has a bunch of space to walk into the Tigers zone, and fully expecting the shot is Harrison Menigan on the back door. Brady Burney able to win, get his stick free, tied up away from Bryce Pickford, find the backdoor tap in minute 10. Already got 2 goals, Will.
We're on pace for a lot.
Could be a busy one.
Well, the Broncos with their first postseason goal, scored this year by Brady Burney. We're back where we started. Broncos in the offensive zone. Mayo at the right point, backpedal, shoots to traffic. That'll deflect up and out of play for a whistle. Face-off to come here in the Tigers zone. For the Broncos, time's brought to you by Straight Line Kia, home of the lifetime engine warranty.
Big response there from the Broncos and Brady Burney as well, because Co-op Place was rocking, and suddenly the energy back down to a regular level.
Tigers win the defensive zone, draw, break to center. Newton's down the right wing, snaps a shot towards the net of Dick. He'll save it. Now we get a scrum in front, and the referees are telling everyone to cool it. Seems like there will be maybe a little less tolerance for the off his stick. Held in at the right point by Veti Väisänen. He'll swing one left side, Molendyk. He'll shoot to the net of Dick, who makes a blocker save. Rebound corralled by Merrick Roadchak of the Broncos. Swung around to Brzezinski. Returned back to Roadchak, who flips one ahead to center ice. That'll be knocked down by Dale as Hill batted in behind the net of Menigan. Corralled by Veti Väisänen for the Tigers, being pursued by Dale. Lays a pass off the right wing for Oasis Weisblatt into the Broncos zone. He comes, feeds to the slot. St. Martin can't get a shot off. Puck cleared to the point, held in Molendyk. Left circle, McKenna, drop back. St. Martin shoots. Went off the side of the goal. Tigers back with it in the left corner. Weisblatt banks a pass to the point. McKenna swings at it. Not able to hold that one onside. Molendyk corrals it back at center before chipping it back down inside the Broncos zone. 2:20 into period number 1 here inside Co-op Place. Tigers open the scoring 46 seconds in. Bryce Pickford second of the postseason, but the Broncos answered no less than 30 seconds later to square us at 1. Brady Burney with the Broncos' first goal of the 2025 WHL playoffs. Hunter Mayo, every time he touches the puck, getting serenaded with booze by the Medicine Hat faithful, lays a pass off into the Tigers zone. Tigers quickly counter back into the offensive end. Liam Ruck in pursuit, can't get it free in the right corner. Schaefer Gordon Carroll, though, steals one in the slot. Drop pass back for Liam Ruck. Intercepted, cleared to center, back in come the Tigers. Liam Ruck in the high slot, lets a shot go, it's blocked. Carlin DeZane got a shin on it. Puck recovered by Gordon Carroll in the right wing corner. Flip to the left point for Jonas Wu. Touchback down low for Gordon Carroll, but a rolling puck hopped underneath his stick, and it'll be corralled back by the Broncos.
And that's a great shift for the rookie line there. The Ruck twins and Schaefer Gordon Carroll, nonstop ozone time.
Matt Ward throwing a check in the near corner on Merrick Roadchak. Broncos still with possession, send a pass through center, touch one inside the Tigers zone before beginning to make a change. Tigers try to catch them changing, working the left side of the Broncos zone. Matt Ward with a flip pass to the slot, intercepted by Clark Caswell, as now the Broncos come back through the neutral zone. It's the goal scorer Brady Burney chipping one into the left wing corner of the Tigers zone, picking that up Grayson Berzinski. He was in on a lot of the rough stuff last night. Flips one around the wall. Tigers steal, breakaway pass. Ryder Ritchie in alone. He'll shoot. He'll score! Fourth career playoff goal for Ryder Ritchie, and he'll get the Tigers back in front, 2-1, orange and black.
What a heads-up play by Matt Ward. Picks up this puck at the Tigers' blue line and sees that Ryder Ritchie has nothing but daylight in front of him. A saucer pass able to be corralled at the red, and from there Ritchie's in all alone on Reed Dick, beats him low blocker. Tigers retake a 1-goal lead. They're coming fast and furious so far in game 2.
4 shots, 2 goals. Pretty good for the Tigers. 3:44 into this hockey game. They lead 2-1.
His first of the playoffs, scored by number 21, Ryder Ritchie.
Broncos come back in. Save made by the blocker.
This is number 10, Matthew Ward. The time, 3:44.
3:44 time of that goal, brought to you by Straight Line Kia, home of the lifetime engine warranty. Ritchie from Ward. Tigers in the offensive zone. Newton's right wing corner. Banks one to Molendyke at the right point. He'll trade places with Newton's. Now be pinned up by Hunter Mayo. Puck comes free to Peyton Kettles of the Broncos. He'll wrap it around to the near side wall. Skating out to center with that is Jackson Gaucher, but he's muscled off the puck, and Ethan Newtons will shovel it back into the offensive zone as he sits down Kurt Rooks, which gets a nice cheer from the Medicine Hat faithful. Blowing a tire in front of the Bronco bench, Hunter St. Martin, and we're going to see a penalty coming up, and it's going to be on St. Martin, who blew a tire, and that's the old, I went to block a shot at NHL, and I got called for a trip.
That was the worst. That was the worst penalty to get.
It still happens. Man. You hit the bumpers to block the shot, you end up not blocking the shot, you take out the computer's legs, and suddenly you're on the kill.
Well, not even 5 minutes into this game.
And it's brought to you by Medicine Hat Nissan, hoping the new vehicle for under $30,000. Tigers 4 for 4 on the penalty kill in game 1, and they begin the first penalty kill of game 2 strong, winning the face-off and clearing the puck the length of the ice. So St. Martin, who led the Western Hockey League in shorthanded goals, sitting for 2 minutes as the Broncos break back into the offensive zone on the power play. Misselbacher swings a pass around to the left point. Clark Caswell sits down Vedi Väisänen, but Marcus Pacheco, Johnny on the spot, poked the puck loose from the feet of Caswell back to center.
We'll see what the Broncos are able to do attacking this penalty kill differently. Went 0 for 4 in game 1 last night.
Yeah, 24 hours, lots of time to study film and game plan. We'll see what the Broncos are able to generate. Tigers lead 2-1, 5:20 in. Broncos in the right circle. Misselbacher up top. Mayo fakes the shot, takes the shot, and just missed wide. Rebound comes to the point. Bryce Pickford first to it for the Tigers. He'll clear the length of the ice.
Bit of a scary moment. Bryce Pickford, the no-look back pass, typically has support right there with him onto the tape of a Bronco, and ended up generating a shot for Hunter Mayo from the blue line that Harrison Mennigan couldn't track through the traffic.
50 seconds left in the Tiger penalty kill. First man advantage of the night going to the Broncos as they work back through the neutral zone. Brady Burney wraps one around into the Tiger zone. That'll be swung at by McKenna, unable to clear as it's cut off by Rondo. He'll be pinned up in the right wing corner of the Tiger zone. Puck still in the feet of Parker Rondo. Saw the Rondo family here, at least I believe the Rondo family last night, all wearing number 17 jerseys. Puck comes free from Rondo's feet. It'll go to the right point. Burney works it down to Dezane, who tried to work one to the left point for Grayson Berzinski. That pass not able to connect, and the Broncos forced to start back from their own zone with 10 seconds left in the power play. Tigers lead 2-1, 6.5 gone here in the first. Final seconds trickling off the Tiger kill. St. Martin's set to step back onto the ice, and the Tigers will have an odd man rush. It'll be a 3-on-2 through center. Pacheco, Ward, and St. Martin. Pacheco down the right wing. Holds below the goal line, centers in front, and the puck trickles off bodies out the other side. That'll be taken by Connor Gabriel and muscled to center. Cut off by Muhanen in front of the scorer's box, touched ahead to Matthew Ward. He's on the board against his former team, assisting on the Ryder Ritchie goal, which made it 2-1 Tigers. He'll give one off to Pacheco in front of the scorer's box. Pacheco banks one back to Josh Van Mulligan, the Medicine Hat native defenseman, who will hear from period number 1, and Van Mulligan pokes at the loose puck, sends it into the Tiger bench, and sends us to break. 2-1 Tigers in front here in Game 2 inside Co-op Place. You're listening to Medicine Hat Tigers hockey on Wild 94.5. The Tigers lead the Swiftcurrent Broncos 2-1 here in Game 2 of Round 1. 2025 Western Hockey League playoffs. The Broncos poke one loose in the Tigers zone in pursuit. Dale in the left wing corner works one to the point for Brzezinski. He'll send one towards the net of Menigan. Easy paddle save made. Penalty coming up here on the Broncos. When they touch the puck, it'll be slashing. Newtons, who had the stick slashed out of his hand, will pick it back up. Not able to control a pass at center. And Brzezinski, who was able to avoid the
First time here in Game 2.
And it's brought to you by Cypress Motors, Maple Creek, your Ford dealer with big deals in a small town. Weisblatt out there centering McKenna and Liam Ruck with Bryce Pickford and Tanner Molendyke, the point man. We haven't really got to see much of this power play unit as is constructed because Bryce Pickford only returned to the Tigers from injury 2 weeks ago. Tigers win the draw right back to Pickford, who has a goal tonight. He'll work it to the left side. McKenna down low for Liam Ruck, bottom of the left circle. He'll walk back up, feed one back door, they score! 3-1 Tigers, Oasis Weisblatt with his 4th of the postseason. Not even 8 minutes into Game 2.
Well, it's a similar look to the power play goal last night, and when Liam Ruck took that puck along the goal line, he immediately spun it to the far side post for Oasis Weisblatt. Knowing that and understanding the plays looking differently, he switches it up. So Liam Ruck takes this pass and then backs off a little bit, goes high around this near side circle and opens up a little bit more of a spacing. Able to feed this pass through the feet of Peyton Kettles. What a job by Liam Ruck, the rookie for the Tigers, finding Weisblatt on the back door and his 3-1 Medicine Hat.
Liam Ruck, who led all Western Hockey League rookies in goals, showing he has a nice playmaking ability too there. Great pass, and the Tigers now lead 3-1.
Tigers power play goal. His 4th of the playoffs. Scored by number 7, Oasis Weisblatt. Assist number 12, Liam Ruck. And number 72, Gavin McKenna. The time, 7:47.
Time of that goal brought to you by Straight Line Kia, home of the lifetime engine warranty. Weisblatt from Liam Ruck and Gavin McKenna. That reads the same as the 3rd goal for the Tigers last night. It's the same for the 3rd goal in Game 2 as it is in Game 1. Tigers in the offensive zone. Jonas Wu, top of the point, flips one to the left circle for Bryce Pickford. He'll corral the pass in the corner, dart behind the Bronco goal of Reed Dick. He's allowed 3 goals on 5 shots. Not the start to his night he was hoping for. Tigers with it, high slot. Ritchie snaps a shot just wide. Rebound trickles in front of the net of Dick. He'll paddle it into the corner. Broncos clear to center. Brady Burney, who has the lone Bronco goal, flips one to the Tiger blue line. That's cut off by Josh Van Mulligan. Tigers kind of catch the Broncos changing, working one deep back into the offensive zone. Matthew Ward gets punched in the jaw. Tigers heading right back to the power play. Clark Caswell for roughing, and the Tigers up 3-1. Have an early opportunity, Lance, to maybe blow this game open.
Want to go down 3 early on in this building, in this atmosphere with this Tigers club.
Tigers will send out the power play unit that just found the back of the net. Weisblatt centering McKenna and Liam Ruck with Pickford and Molendyke, the point men. It's a Cypress Motors Maple Creek Tiger power play. They are 1 for 1 on the night. Opportunity number 2, and they win the draw back to Pickford. He'll walk the line, right circle. Molendyke fanned on the one-timer, but gets it back in the right wing corner. Fed to the point for Pickford. Slid left side for McKenna, the 2 trade places. McKenna fakes the shot, takes the shot, deflected wide by Weisblatt. Tigers still with it. Pickford up top for McKenna, the 2 trade places. Drop pass for Pickford from McKenna. He'll walk, he'll fire, save made by Dick. Rebound being jammed away at, and the whistle will sound as Weisblatt was slamming the stick on the pads of Dick, trying to jar that puck free.
And gives a little bit of time to get that puck over to the far side of the ice.
24 seconds gone on the Tigers' second power play. They lead 3-1 and control the offensive zone draw. McKenna at the left point chops one to Weisblatt in the left circle. Weisblatt struggles to handle the bobbling puck, comes free from his feet, and will be swept the length of the ice by Carlin Dezane, the former Medicine Hat Tiger. Pickford, who opened the scoring tonight, drops one at center for the Tigers. They'll work back into the offensive zone. Molendyke picks his own pass up in the right wing corner. Curls back to the point, feeds one up top for Pickford. To the right circle, McKenna. He waits along the wall, looking for a play to develop, finds one. Weisblatt at the left point, gives it back to McKenna left circle. Fans on the wrist shot. McKenna still in search of his first playoff goal this postseason. Knocks down a clearing attempt at the left point. He'll wait at the top of the left circle. Send a shot towards goal. That's blocked by Gabriel. McKenna recovers his own rebound. Plays it up top. Pickford shoots and a save from Dick. McKenna on the rebound. Fires a pass cross ice to Molendyke. Molendyke to Pickford. One-timer save made. Rebound in front. Weisblatt has it in his feet. He'll curl to the corner. Feed one to the left point. McKenna swings a pass cross ice. That'll deflect off skates. Back to the neutral zone. Great pressure from the Tigers, but the Broncos surviving. 20 seconds left in the Tiger power play. 1-for-1 on the man advantage thus far. The Tigers wrap it into the offensive zone, but it's promptly cleared by the Broncos. 10 seconds left. Menningen out of his net for the Tigers to play the puck.
And for the Broncos, that must have felt like 5 minutes. It was just nonstop pressure and having to move, follow, tracking pucks, and Reed Dick able to make a couple big stops.
Tigers throwing over at the blue line. It's going to be a Ryland Gould breakaway to get the Broncos back within a goal. Pass in front. A shot saved by Menningen Dezane. Robbed by the right pad of the Tiger over H-Tendy just as the power play expired. Tigers carry a puck back to the neutral zone. Jonas Wu picks it up at the right point. Walks to the circle. Fires, and a save made by Dick. 8:37 left in the first. Tigers in front 3-1 here over the Broncos in game 2 of round 1. Tigers hold a 1-0 series lead.
Well, once again, that pressure point that the Broncos want to try and execute at is their own blue line. They're forced to turn over on a bit of a soft chip on the far side, but credit Jonas Wu, gets on his horse, backtracks, forces the pass to the near side, and just not a lot of time or space for Carlin Dezane.
Should say those scoreboard updates there brought to you by Murray Hyundai, home of the 5-year, 100,000-kilometer vehicle warranty. Defensive zone draw for the Broncos, one back. They fan on a clearing attempt. Nearly was a turnover for Ethan Newtons at the bottom of the right circle, but the Broncos get the puck back. Hunter Mayo feeds one ahead. Caswell touches it up ice. Misselbacher enters the offensive zone, gives one to Bernie. Inside out move on McCann, but the puck stripped free from Bernie by Van Mulligan. Medicine Hat native defenseman. Plays it up for Caden McCann. McCann touches one to center for Nilapeka Muhanen, who will cross the red line. Chip and change with 8 minutes even remaining in the first period. Shots 8 for the Tigers, 5 for the Broncos. Tigers in front 3-1 and now have an odd man rush into the offensive zone. Gordon Carroll in the left circle feeds in front. Oh, what a save from Reed Dick! Robs Marcus Ruck with the glove, keeping the Broncos within 2. Conversation went, as a matter of fact. Broncos win the draw. Tigers on a Medicine Hat Nissan penalty kill. Mayo high slot fires, and that knocked the skate blade out of Matt Ward's skate. He's going to hobble to the bench, so it's a 5-on-3 momentarily. Onto the ice comes Pacheco. Got right into position. Broncos with it. Bottom of the left circle. Hunter Mayo feeds one up top. Misselbacher gives back to Mayo. Pressured by Pacheco, nearly forced a turnover. Mayo got it back. Worked down low, Caswell, back to Mayo, back to Caswell. Circle pass for Gould. He'll turn at the bottom of the left corner, look for a lane. Now touch it up top for Mayo, who fanned on it, and the fans enjoyed seeing that. Tigers get a free clear 40 seconds into their second kill.
And how about Matt Ward? Basically had to go all the way across ice on 1 foot to get to the bench and bring Pacheco on. Did so quickly enough that Pacheco was able to jump in and help out the kill.
Broncos turning over at the Tiger blue line. Marcus Pacheco will lead a shorthanded rush down the right wing. Pacheco curls at the top of the right circle. Wisely plays one back to center. That was going to be to Bryce Pickford. Went off the linesman and stopped right at the base of his feet. So the Broncos able to pick that up in the neutral zone as the Tigers were hoping to kill a little more clock there. 6:30 left in the first, 45 seconds left in the Bronco man advantage. Tigers lead 3-1 here inside Co-op Place. Game 2 of round 1 of the 1-8 matchup in the Eastern Conference playoffs. Tigers won game 1 last night 4-0 and currently lead game 2 3-1. Broncos on the power play in the offensive zone. 30 seconds left. Bernie in front. Rondo hits the post and McKenna on the kill. Will head the other way one-on-one with speed. McKenna trying to go inside out on Brzezinski, but Brzezinski able to use the stick to sweep the puck back to center.
Well played by Grayson Brzezinski there as well. That's an intimidating one-on-one when Gavin McKenna has a little bit of time and space to walk around you.
And there's a couple defensemen we've seen this season where they see that and it's a bit of deer in the headlights.
Yeah, it's not a comfortable feeling.
And Brzezinski, they're able to stand tall as we're back to even strength. Gordon Carroll back on the ice. Tigers 2 for 2 on the penalty kill, 6 for 6 in the series. The Tigers don't like it's been 4 periods, not even, and 6 penalty kills. That's a number they probably want to reduce. Tigers break out of their own zone, back to even strength. Newton's down the right wing, works it in behind the net of Reed. Dick Volatovsky on the forecheck, can't win the race to the puck. Swept around the boards, held in at the right point by Vedi Vysen, and Tigers in the offensive zone. Newton's along the right half boards, try to pass down low, ends up deflecting the Vysen into the right point. He'll step around Carter Moen, affiliate from the Swiftcurrent Legionnaires U18 team at 47 points through 30 games. He gets his first taste of Western Hockey League playoff action. He's out there now as the Broncos steal on their own end, work it deep down into the Tigers zone. Dale in pursuit, works it to the right point. Caswell, left side, Mayo holds, fires, save made, rebound tipped high by Moen. What a way to make an impact that would have been. Now Caswell curls in the right corner. Broncos in the offensive zone, down 2. Pass to the point, and again hops over the stick of Mayo back to center. Second time in as many minutes that's happened to Hunter Mayo. Broncos come back into the Tiger zone. Caswell pinned up along the right half boards. Matt Ward, the former Bronco, digs it free, touches a puck ahead to Ryder Ritchie. He'll try to work down the left wing wall into the Bronco zone. Does so, but Sawyer Dingman eats a heavy shoulder from Matt Ward as the puck's rolled around to Mayo. Headed back behind the net for Kettles. He's checked by Ward. Puck knocked ajar, but Kettles recovers in the right wing corner. Cycles back for Hunter Mayo. Tigers turn it over in the offensive zone, looking for it. Ryder Ritchie in the slot, can't find the bobbling puck as Matthew Ward gets slashed in behind the play and now takes a shoulder as things are already heating up here in Co-op Place. 3-1 Tigers in front, 4:08 left in the first. When we come back, you're listening to Napa Auto Parts Tigers Hockey on Wild 94.5. Tigers 3 goals from 3 different goal scorers. Ryder Ritchie, Oasis Weisblatt, and Bryce Pickford have the Tigers in front 3-1. Brady Burney with the lone Bronco goal thus far of the postseason. Broncos looking to change that as they break into the offensive zone down the left side. Misselbacher, pass in front, broken up. He'll recover it back in the right corner. Flip one to the right point for Merrick Rochak. Touch back to the top of the right circle. Misselbacher lets a low shot go. Blocked in front by Pickford. Tigers clear to center. Gordon Carroll with numbers 3-on-2. Finds Jonas Wu streaking down the right wall, but Liam Ruck just not able to drag that back toe to keep the play onside. Whistle sounds. Face-off will come outside the Bronco blue line. 3:38 left in the first. Scoreboard update brought to you by Murray Hyundai.
And not sure if Liam knew that Jonas Wu was tracking him behind him. Otherwise, we could have taken a different route, crossing into the O zone. Instead, the pass goes behind Liam Ruck. He's like, uh-oh, what's happening behind me? Oh, there's Jonas Wu. So offside is called, and the faceoff comes to center ice.
Weisblatt out there with McKenna and St. Martin. Vysen and Molendyke on the blue line. Broncos win the draw. Mayo inside his own zone. Works to center for Caswell as he'll come down the right wing. Gould looked to be a step ahead of that play. It's called onside. Caswell high slot. Low shot. Deflects wide of the Tiger goal of Harrison Mennigan. Just 6 shots thus far through the first period for the Swiftcurrent Broncos. Tigers counter into the offensive zone. McKenna barrels over Parker Rondo, who's trying to hold up the speedy Tiger forward. Tigers in the offensive zone. McKenna high slot. Walks to the blue line in a bit of a phone booth. Banks it off the boards to the bottom of the left circle for Oasis Weisblatt. In there with St. Martin, who got clipped up high with something. Might have been the stick of Oasis Weisblatt as the Broncos are able to clear all the way down, and that's going to go for an icing with 2:55 left in the first.
No worse for wear down on the bench, and the Tigers get a O-zone draw to the right of Reed Dick.
Send out Matthew Ward, Ryder Ritchie, and Marcus Pacheco. Pacheco in search of his first career playoff point in his 9th career playoff game. Tigers win the draw. Point shot blocked by Caswell. Broncos get the puck back in front of their own goal. Hunter Mayo cuts to his right and now skates to center. Across the red line, rip one deep into the Tigers zone. Picked up by Van Mulligan in the right wing corner. He'll absorb a check from Ryland Gould. Puck rolls to Muhanen. Fed up the boards to Ritchie. Touched back to Muhanen. Fed up ice for the speedy Pacheco. 2-on-2. He'll enter the offensive zone. Pacheco cutting to the slot. Lost his balance in the left circle, and up the other way come the Broncos. Connor Dale lost his footing at center ice. Tigers looking to steal it away at the blue line, but swiping the puck back for the Broncos, Grayson Brzezinski. Feeding it up ice for Connor Gabriel. His pass back intercepted by Ryder Ritchie, who carries it 1-on-4 into the offensive zone as the Tigers begin to change. Ritchie, the last man out. He'll head to the bench as the Tigers work on the line of McCann, Volatovsky, and Newtons with 2 minutes to go in the first period of Game 2. Tigers lead 3-1. Down the right wing, enter the Broncos. Dale puts one on goal and an easy save made by Mennigan as he'll cover it up for a whistle with $1:55 left in the first. The left of Harrison Mennigan. Shots are 11-8 for the Tigers, leading 3-1. Weisblatt, who has the latest goal in this hockey game. wins the draw back defensively for the Tigers as they wrap one all the way around the boards down into the Broncos zone. St. Martin in hot pursuit, can't intercept a puck, as up the other way comes Brady Burney, partial break, dishes off Misselbacher, shoots, and a blocker save made by Mennigan. Big rebound picked up by the Tiger captain, Weisblatt, he'll cross center, one hand the puck into the offensive zone. St. Martin in pursuit, not able to win the foot race for that puck, and the Broncos subsequently ice it with 89 seconds remaining in the first. And
well into the series, but every game brings a little bit more emotion, so if you're able to throw a couple hits, get in on the forecheck, and wear teams down over a 7-game series, it only benefits you.
Tigers win the offensive zone draw. Jonas Wu pressured at the left point, dishes one down the wall. That's easily intercepted by Caswell. He'll look for a breakaway feed for Brady Burney. A foot race for the puck taken by Pickford. Jonas Wu with it in his own zone for the Tigers as he'll set up shop in behind his own goal. Given back to McKenna, quickly return to Wu. Speeding up ice, he'll cross center, cut to his right and enter the Broncos zone. Drop one for Weisblatt, finds McKenna left circle to the slot. St. Martin one times it wide. Now the puck sit in front. Wu on a knee in the doorstep, not able to get contact with the stick on puck. And now the Broncos again a stretch feed. This one beaten out for an icing by Luke Misselbacher as we enter the last minute of play in the first period. Misselbacher abandoned ship and the Tigers take it back in their own zone but turn it over. Pickford's pass went off a skate. Rondo drop feed. Dezane waits, fires, and it deflects off the stick of Wu, up and out of play.
The skates of Gavin McKenna to create the chance for Dezane.
Dezane, Rondo, Gould, the forward unit remains out for the Broncos. 30 seconds left in the first. Tigers cleared in the neutral zone as Pacheco chops a puck to the Bronco blue line. Swiftcurrent back with it, lead pass up the middle, Connor Gabriel with the lane down the left side, shoots, and a blocker, save made there by Mennigan. Rebound cleared around the wall, cut off by Gould, fed to the right point, Rochak shoots through traffic, misses the Tiger goal wide. To the left point, Brzezinski holds it onside, sweeps it around into the right wing corner, Gould will knock it down for the Broncos. 7 seconds left in the first period. Gould to the left point for Brzezinski. He'll again touch it behind the goal, that'll come free to Van Mulligan, he'll kill the clock. 3 goals on 11 shots in period number 1 of game number 2 for the Medicine Hat Tigers as they lead by 2 through 20 minutes. 3-1 the score in favor of the Tigers here inside Co-op Place. Tigers lead 3-1 here in game 2 of round 1. First period goals for the Tigers from Bryce Pickford, Oasis Weisblatt, and Ryder Ritchie. Broncos' lone goal of the night and postseason thus far, courtesy of Brady Burney. Broncos control the puck in their own zone. 25 seconds into period number 2 and proceed to ice the puck. A stretch feed to Carlin Dezane fails to connect. Tigers get an offensive zone draw 30 seconds into the frame.
Their line's in for a shift to start off and then settle into the period as it develops with this now second group of Ward Pacheco and Ryder Ritchie hopping over.
And of course the long change here, so if you're the Broncos, you're really looking to avoid those icings in period number 2 as, well, they ice it again off the face-off win, so what do I know?
Right on time.
Yeah.
They were just trying to go glassing out and set things up in the neutral zone, but it just a little too stiff off the glass and all the way down the ice.
That's like if the Philadelphia Eagles only ever ran the tush push. What an entertaining product.
Wouldn't that be something?
Oh, win them a Super Bowl. Defensive zone draw,
3-0.
one back by, what a game. Broncos this time are able to clear without icing it, and the Tigers will start back from inside their own zone. Jonas Wu across the red line, flip a pass to Ryder Ritchie. That's intercepted by Clark Caswell and batted back to the Tiger blue line. Retreating with it, Bryce Pickford feeding one up to Ritchie. He'll touch one to center for Marcus Pacheco. That gets lost in the feet of his line mate Matthew Ward as a clearing attempt bounces off Ward, but he puts his team offside. Ritchie doesn't realize that, has to retreat to the neutral zone as the Broncos clear one into their own bench that looked to come from inside their own zone. As we again have pushing and shoving, this time in front of the Bronco bench, Jonas Wu and Ryland Gould. Last night, Prince Albert leads 1-0, 2.5 minutes into the second, as the Broncos again ice the puck. So this is what we saw at the start of the first period last night, Lance.
This credit the Broncos. They have had a handful of D-zone draws to start period number 2, and they keep winning them.
Draw to the right of Reed Dick. Weisblatt taking the draw. McKenna stacked atop of the circle with St. Martin offset to the right. Van Mulligan and New Hunted at the points. Draw one back by the Broncos. Goes to Carter Moen. He'll play one to center. Connor Gabriel touches one off to his right for Connor Dale, but the play offside. So another whistle sounds. $1:29 into the second, and this second period still yet to establish a flow, and the Tigers will try to change that.
Staff took a look at who was on the other side and leave Weisblatt, St. Martin, and Gavin McKenna out.
So I spoke too soon.
No, you had it right. They were on the ice. There's the whistle.
And another offside, this time called on the Tigers. Allowed more than 3 goals more than 4 times since the start of February. One of those times was to Swiftcurrent in that final regular season game. Tigers led 3-1 through 40, gave up 4 in the final 10. Otherwise, Prince Albert, Edmonton, and Lethbridge have been the only teams to be able to score 3 or more on the Tigers. Sorry, more than 3. The Tigers have allowed 3. For example, the Red Deer game, a 7-3 win. 20 seconds without a whistle, which is nice to see as the Tigers start from behind their own net. Mennigan works it to Vyson, and he'll swing it around to Tanner Molendyk, pressured by Carlin Dezane. He'll pick the pocket of the Tiger. Highly sought after trade deadline acquisition of Tanner Molendyk, but the Tigers are able to steal it back, work one through the neutral zone. Parker Rondo with it at his own blue line for the Broncos. Stretches it up the left wing for Ryland Gould, and that will go for an icing. 2:14 gone in a second period that is crawling along like a 5-month-old. Are either of the linesmen's parents? You're loving the start of the second period.
Right.
Offsides and icings, they are the stars of the show. Tigers win the ozone draw. Wu mishandles a puck at the blue line. That'll be poked the length of the ice by Rondo, and another icing.
It's getting comical at this point as Wu and Rondo come together after the whistle. And
one, I believe, and for the Tigers, that 3-goal lead and the swell of momentum and energy from this crowd, that would have been a steep hill for the Broncos to overcome, but they instead gained momentum from the spectacular save of Reed Dick on Marcus Ruck, who was looking for his first career playoff goal and, well, for that matter, playoff point. Tigers touch one deep into the Broncos zone, or no, they don't. McCann was checked at the Bronco blue line, so was unable to play the puck. Hunter Mayo through the shoulder on McCann, and icing the call on the Tigers. Shout out the families of Austin Weisberger and Matthew Latimer. Your kids are stars of the show right now in the second period. Icings and offsides, and now a Tiger penalty. Slashing will be the call, and the Swiftcurrent Broncos will head to the 3rd power play of the night.
Tigers back to the kill.
Power play unit for the Broncos: Gould, Caswell, Misselbacher, Kettles, and Mayo, who has it at the point. Broncos control it off the face-off. Tigers on a Medicine at Nissan penalty kill. Caswell, top of the left circle, fires, and that hits his own man. Kettles in front. Interesting, they have the 6'5", 196-pound defenseman Peyton Kettles as the goalmouth presence.
Well, if you haven't had a goal yet on the power play, this being your 7th opportunity now, you got to try something different. Put the big body in front of Harrison Mennigan.
We'll see how it works for the Broncos. They head back into the offensive zone. Gould touches off to Misselbacher, works down below the Tiger goal line for Gould. His pocket's picked, and the puck swept the length of the ice by Jonas Wu. Make that Matthew Ward, as he'll go back and forth with Peyton Kettles as those two joust as the Broncos begin to break back up the ice. Ward will head off to the bench. Kettles remains out for the Broncos. 45 seconds gone in the Bronco power play. Ethan Newton's in the box for the Tigers for a hook. Gould crosses the Tiger line, flips one off to his right. Misselbacher down the wall. Gould plays it back to Misselbacher at the right point. Pressured by Volotovsky, given off to Gould. He's knocked down by Molendyk. Tigers send one up ahead for Pacheco. They might have numbers short-handed. Instead, Pacheco will lay it down inside the Broncos' zone. Volotovsky on the forecheck short-handed for the Tigers. Wins the race to the puck, but outnumbered. The puck's taken back by the Broncos as they'll curl back into their own zone. Misselbacher pressured by Vysanen, forced to lay it off to Hunter Mayo, as now Vysanen will lay off to the bench, and the Tigers complete the change on the penalty kill with just 35 seconds to go in the Tiger kill. Newton's in the box for a hook.
And this kill really going well for the Tigers so far. The Broncos haven't been able to set up. Hunter Mayo continuing to curl back in his own zone, now starting the breakout.
Mayo will drop one at center, now peel off for a change as Dezane flips one in behind the Tiger goal of Mennigan. Puck comes loose at the side of the net, found by Dezane. He'll walk to his left, work up the right wing wall, hold at the point, flip one back up Brzezinski to Dezane. Left point Bernie, drags, fires wide to the net of Mennigan. Broncos still yet to record a shot here in this second period. We're back to even strength. Tigers 3 for 3 on the kill. Bernie shoots. It pinballs wide to the Tiger goal. Dezane on the right half boards. Low shot. Paddle save made by Mennigan. Might have been caught a little off guard by that snapshot. Tigers clear to center off the rebound as Newton's fresh out of the box will chip in change. Broncos clear to the right point. Van Mulligan fresh off the bench, holds it onside, but shovels it into the netting behind the Bronco goal for a whistle. And now in this hockey game, with just one shot through the opening 5 minutes of the second period, which granted the frantic pace we've been playing at. Not surprising, Tigers still without a shot in this middle frame.
It's so funny, when periods start like that, at some point they typically end up breaking open for a stretch.
Tigers win the draw, splitting the defensemen, so they have to retreat all the way into their own zone to regain possession. They do so and quickly tip one down inside the Broncos zone. Picked up by Gordon Carroll in the left wing corner. He'll find Marcus Ruck center to pass in front. One off the base of the goal, being dug for in behind the Bronco net. Pried free by the Broncos, wrapped around to Jackson Gaucher. His pockets picked along the far boards. Tigers dump one into the right wing corner. Gordon Carroll in pursuit, gets to it first for Medicine Hat. Tried a little flip play to the slot. That went back in behind the goal as the Broncos are looking to break back out of their zone, but a Tiger forecheck not allowing them to do so. Van Mulligan steals on the right wall, cuts to the slot, lays one to the point. Gavin McKenna working onto the ice with that Tiger top line, slows up along the half boards, but kind of got tied up with Van Mulligan. Broncos can't clear off the turnover. Richie gets it back for the Tigers, darts in behind the goal, walks up the left wing boards, finds Weisblatt at the top of the point. Weisblatt waits, drags, fires, and a blocker save made by Dick. That registers as the Tigers' first shot of the second period, 6 minutes into the middle frame. Broncos clear to center, puck knocked down at center by Sawyer Dingman. Jackson Gaucher wasn't able to touch that, or it would have been called a hand pass, so the Tigers able to break back up through the neutral zone. McKenna touch play ahead to Richie in the right circle. Richie drags, fires, and a save made by Dick. McKenna on the rebound, puts it wide. He was trying to go short side under the glove of Dick. Now a point shot goes wide. The Tiger bench and about half the rink thought that was in with Dick out of position. Tigers pressing. Molendyke left point, slides to Bison in top of the right circle. Nice spin move around Rondo, now curls in the right corner. Plays one to McKenna at the point. Touch to Richie. Given back to McKenna. Back to Richie. Fans on the wrister, but gets his own miss. Back at the left point, Richie walks to the bottom of the left circle. Flips in front. Weisblatt tried to feed it backdoor for McKenna. That was intercepted. Clearing attempt held down by Molendyke, but the second effort of Carlin Dezane clears it to center. Tigers quick to cut it off. They don't want the Broncos to change, but now turn it over in the neutral zone, and the Broncos will send that the length. That's going to go for an icing, so the Broncos unable to change, but will be aided by the media timeout. 3-1, Tigers in front. You're listening to Napa Auto Parts Tigers Hockey on Wild 94.5. 7:08 gone in period number 2 after a very slow start to the middle frame. Things have picked up. Tigers with a lot of pressure in the offensive zone. Win the offensive zone draw. Point shot deflected just wide of the Bronco goal. Wu with the point shot. The deflection in front just trickled wide. Broncos unable to clear. Pickford holds it in at the left point. Touches one down in the corner. McCann in pursuit. Digging for that puck. Newton's in as well. Pries it free. Flip pass to Volotovsky in the left circle. He can't get a shot off. Found back by McCann in the left corner, but it's dug free by Brzezinski. Now he's muscled along the boards by Volotovsky. McCann digging for it for the Tigers alongside Volotovsky. Brzezinski able to navigate that and work a pass out for Rondo. Rondo then crunched off the puck by Newtons, but the Broncos finally able to clear through center. 7:50 gone in the second. 3-1 the Tigers lead game 2 of round 1 here in the Western Hockey League playoffs. After a 4-0 shutout win last night for the Tigers to take a 1-0 series lead, they saw a 3-goal first period help lift them to a 3-1 advantage, one they still hold. Broncos in the offensive zone. Morin with a shot from the left side of the goal. Goes off the base of the net. Tigers pick up the rebound and they'll break back up ice. Marcus Pacheco to center for Ethan Newtons. He'll sweep it down in behind the net of Reed Dick, who's out to play the puck. Around to Peyton Kettles. Touched up ice. Ryland Gould nearly had his pocket pick by Marcus Pacheco. Broncos still with it at their own blue line. Hunter Mayle touch play ahead for Carter Moen, who had that nice chance for the Broncos, and now they'll get a breakaway. In alone, they score! Ryland Gould, glove side on Harrison Mennigan, makes it a 1-goal game. 11:24 to go in the second. The Broncos showing some life.
The Tigers just get caught a little bit of puck watching here. It's on the near side blue line. Ryland Gould gets lost on the far side in the slot and able to walk into this one, beating Harrison Mennigan underneath the glove and cutting the deficit to 1. It's 3-2 Tigers.
So Ryland Gould with the tally for the Broncos. First career postseason goal for Ryland Gould, so congratulations there as he gets the Broncos back within 1. And after what felt like mounting Tiger pressure, the dam was about to break. Instead, the Broncos, flip that script on its head and get themselves back within a goal. Tigers changing up the line. St. Martin out there with Pacheco and Ward. Richie started the night with them. They'll break into the offensive zone down the right wing with speed. Pacheco to the slot for St. Martin. That pass intercepted by Clark Caswell, the Bronco captain. He'll find Misselbacher at center. Their leading scorer in the regular season as he's checked down hard into the boards. Was looking for a call, none coming. The Bronco bench certainly wanted to call, and The Tigers will have an odd man rush into the offensive zone. St. Martin slows at the right point, cuts to the high slot, shoots! Saved by Dick as now Matt Ward gets taken down by Grayson Brzezinski, and emotions getting the better of Grayson Brzezinski, who will send his team short-handed shortly after they just shrunk the deficit back down to a goal.
And Matt Ward, as he was posted up in the crease area, and he's going to be the only one to go. And the Tigers will head to seemingly a power play with an opportunity to restore the 2-goal lead.
Brzezinski holding his left shoulder area, upper arm shoulder area en route to the box, and it looks like it'll just be Brzezinski heading off.
He took a shot at the end of the play there, just a bit of a tap from Marcus Pacheco into the back. And
but the opportunity they failed to capitalize on, they sure looked good on. They'll look to extend their lead back out to a pair. Tigers win the draw. Pickford right point to Molendyke. He'll shoot. That's going to be blocked in front by Mayo, and he'll clear to Gould at center ice, who has got the Broncos back within one as the puck's dumped down into the Tigers zone. Tigers will break back out to center. Molendyke ahead to Gavin McKenna. He'll cross the Bronco blue line. Flip one to Liam Ruck in the right circle. Liam Ruck fans on a pass in behind the Bronco goal. That'll be raced to by Oasis Weisblatt. He'll hold possession, flip one to the right point for McKenna. Touch to the left circle for Pickford. The two trade places, drop pass back for McKenna. Finds Molendyke, he'll shoot, and a save made by Dick. Another knuckle puck, this one he's able to save. The Broncos 2-on-1 short-handed up ice to Zane down the right wing into the offensive zone. Flipped in front, and it goes off the skates of Gould and wide.
nice play there from Tanner Molendyke after fanning on the one-timer. Hustles back, helps out Pickford on the odd man rush.
Tigers back in the offensive zone. McKenna along the right half boards. Look to play one to the point for Pickford. It deflected off a Bronco back to center. A minute gone in the Tiger man advantage. Swiftcurrent kill looking better here in the middle frame than it did in the first. Pickford to Weisblatt inside the left point of the Broncos zone. He'll wrap it into the right wing corner of the Swiftcurrent end. St. Martin touches it back around to Weisblatt. Bottom of the left circle, he finds Ritchie. Ritchie in behind the net of Dick. Walks to the bottom of the right circle, banks it to the point for McKenna. McKenna shoots, and a save made. Rebound, they score! Oasis Weisblatt! It's the O-zone, and it might be named after him. 5 goals, 5 periods of playoff hockey, and the Tiger captain restores the 2-goal lead.
Oasis Weisblatt ends up as Johnny on the spot here for his second of the game, as Gavin McKenna has the puck on the near side blue, finds a bit of a shooting lane with Hunter St. Martin ready to redirect and able to get this deflection in tight on Reed Dick, who thinks he has it swallowed up, and the puck's actually laying right behind his feet. And the Tigers number 7, Oasis Weisblatt, able to beat the Broncos number 7, Jace McFall, to that loose puck, tap it home, and restore the Tigers' 2-goal lead.
Tigers now 2 for 3 on the power play. Restore their 2-goal advantage. Oasis Weisblatt with the goal.
Power play goal. His 5th of the playoffs. Scored by number 7, Oasis Weisblatt. Assist number 72, Gavin McKenna. And number 21, Ryder Ritchie. The time, 10:40.
10:40 of period number 2. Time of that goal brought to you by Straight Line Kia, home of the lifetime engine warranty. Weisblatt from McKenna and Ritchie. So McKenna 3 assists on the night, 7 assists through 5 periods. Tigers restore their 2-goal lead. It's 4-2. They'll head the other way as a turnover at the Tiger blue line picked up by Liam Ruck. Touch to Marcus Ruck. He'll load, he'll fire, save made, big rebound. Not able to be put home by Gordon Carroll as that puck came hot off the pads of Reed Dick. Gordon Carroll right where you want to be, but the puck, unpredictable, rolls up on an edge.
So uses the pads of Dick as a bit of an indirect pass. It was a shot, but he was looking for the redirect from Schaefer Gordon Carroll and nearly had it.
Ward wins the offensive zone draw for the Tigers. St. Martin still out on that line with Pacheco, and Ward picks it up at the left point, works one in behind the net as Ward gets checked hard behind the play. Tiger fans and Lance Dahl wanting a penalty.
Grayson Brzezinski had the hands up as he was bracing for a check to Matt Ward and got him right in the face.
And Matt Ward being attended to by the Tiger trainer, look, Mickey Lanik, as the Tigers come back into the offensive zone. Pacheco, drop pass from McKenna in the left circle. He'll generate space along the half boards. Touch one to the point, not able to connect with Molendyke as he'll retreat back inside his own zone. 7:45 remaining in the second. Tigers up 4-2. Back driving on the right wing. Hunter St. Martin, a backhander. Saved by Dick, who will hold it for a whistle.
Almost fooling Reed Dick, but stays square to the play and is able to swallow up that puck.
Matthew Ward is leaking something fierce on the Tiger bench, and Willie Desjardins none too pleased with the no call, as there is
well, the reason why, sorry,
literal
didn't mean
evidence.
to jump in yet.
No, you're good.
The only reason why I maybe mentioned it, because it was a play that was saw the entire way by the officials electing not to call it. It's one of those things that Matt Ward going to get taken care of by Mickey Lanik, and you know that he'll be back out and ready to go.
I'll make a sick Instagram picture. Offensive zone draw, Tiger top unit out. Win it into the near corner. McKenna digging away for that loose puck. Pried free though by Hunter Mayo. He'll set up behind the Bronco goal. Walk out to his left. Being worked on by Ryder Ritchie. Mayo able to navigate a pass up the wall as Parker Rondo touches it to the neutral zone. Tigers dump one back into the Swiftcurrent end, corralled by Peyton Kettles in the right wing corner as he'll slowly exit his zone. Work to center ice, chip one off the far boards, lightly inside the Tigers zone, corralled by Jonas Wu. Wu works it to the near side for Pickford. He'll curl away from the check of Carlin Dezane, drop one back, Wu, stretch fast, force Weisblatt down the left wing. Weisblatt drop for Ritchie, top of the left circle, finds McKenna in the slot. McKenna works the pass down low, it deflects to Pickford in the right dot. Touch to the corner, Weisblatt, up high McKenna, fakes the shot, walks to the slot, gives back to Weisblatt. Weisblatt fans on a pass, back door, that pinballs its way to Ryder Ritchie. Reed Dick sprawling all over the place, now a pass in front! Great save from Dick. Weisblatt looking for the hat trick in tight, not able to fool the 5-hole of Reed Dick. Broncos clear the length into the Tiger zone. Picked up by Connor Gabriel, but overskated and recovered by Pickford. Tigers head back up ice. Ritchie will cross center. Rip one towards the net of Dick, who punches it into the left wing corner. McCann digging forward, as is Volatovsky for the Tigers. McCann slips free with it, looks to feed in front for Van Mulligan, who was posted alone, but that pass broken up. McCann back digging forward in the left wing corner. Pins the puck up along the boards himself, taking some punishment there from Kurt Rooks, who slams McCann down to the ice as the puck escapes his feet. Picked up by Josh McGregor, fed to the near side. Sawyer Digman pitchforks a puck to center with 6 minutes to go here in period number 2. Tigers lead 4-2 in game 2 over the Swiftcurrent Broncos. Lead the series 1-0 off a 4-0 shutout victory last night here in Co-op Place. Puck forced in behind the Tiger goal, picked up by Nilapeka Muhanan. He'll take a heavy shoulder from Digman. Puck recovered in the near side corner by Van Mulligan. He'll stretch a pass to center for Marcus Ruck, giving chase into the Broncos zone. Beaten to it by Peyton Kettles. He'll turn it over to Newtons. Wrapped into the right corner for Marcus Ruck. In front, Gordon Carroll tried to get it to the forehand, but the puck poked off his stick. Broncos back with it behind their goal. Kettles lead pass ahead for Jackson Gauthier under pressure from Gordon Carroll. He'll force him into the Tiger bench. Well, partially, as Gauthier grabs his face, might have got the chin into the stanchion. He'll head to the Bronco bench for repairs as Swiftcurrent exits their own zone. Mayo stretch feed intercepted by Molendijk. He'll enter the left side, has a trailer, it's Liam Ruck. He'll wait, he'll tuck a short side shot off the side of the goal. Rebound recovered by Liam Ruck, fed to Marcus Ruck in the near corner, but not anticipating that pass. Brady Burney, I should say, intercepts, sends a pass to center. That's stolen away by Pacheco. Fed ahead for Hunter St. Martin, but overskated at the Bronco blue line. And great to see Matt Ward back out there for the Tigers. After some repairs, he's right back out, doesn't miss a shift. Broncos 3-on-2 into the Tigers zone. Burney drop Caswell, backdoor feed, looking for Misselbacher, not able to connect. Rebound held at the right point by Merrick Rochak. Caswell picks it up behind the goal, sends in front, he scores on a wraparound. Clark Caswell beats the right Padam, Harrison Menigan, and it's back to a 1-goal game, 4-3 with 4:30 to go in the second.
What hands from Clark Caswell, the Broncos captain, down below the goal line, picks up this puck and is able to quickly shift it to his forehand, shake off a defender, work around the stick of Hunter St. Martin, and tuck it on the far side around the pad of Harrison Menigan. A beauty goal for Clark Caswell to get the Broncos back within a goal.
Career playoff goal number 3 for Clark Caswell. And if you're the Tigers, important to stay calm there. It would have been still throughout the duration of what would have been the power play following that late hit and high hit on Matthew Ward from Grayson Brzezinski. So a potential, 2-goal swing there where Tigers could have found themselves up 3 instead. Now just up a goal as the Broncos shut out last night. Already 3 goals through 2 periods here with 4 minutes and change left in the second period. 4-3 Tigers in front. Odd man rush for the Broncos entering the Tiger zone. Gould to the streaking McGregor. On the forehand, he'll shoot high, but drew a penalty in the process as the Tigers will head back to the penalty kill for the 4th time tonight. It will be a hook on the call. Looks like they're going to grab Ryder Ritchie out of the fray, and for the Caswell with it at the left point, slides one to the right side, Misselbacher. Broncos on the power play, 4th of the night. Ritchie in the box for what they called a hook. Caswell, point shot to traffic, save made by Mennigan with the glove. He'll hold it for a whistle. 3:57 left in the second.
From Ryder Ritchie stretching out, that most times maybe goes undetected. This time it takes away the scoring chance, and that's why Ritchie's now still in the box.
Gould, a little early in the face-off dot, so he'll be waved. Misselbacher in to take it for the Broncos out there with Mayo, Kettles, and Caswell. The Broncos win the draw to Caswell at the right point, flip to Mayo atop the left circle. Puck poked off his stick by Van Mulligan. Mayo works it to the right circle. Misselbacher touchdown low. Gould back up to Misselbacher at the right point. He'll switch places with Caswell. Misselbacher passes it down for Caswell to the slot. Gould, drop back Misselbacher, right circle Caswell. He'll hold, he'll fire. It's blocked in front by Weisblatt. Tigers find it in the corner, wrap it up the wall, and that'll just slip by Misselbacher to the neutral zone. Tigers out there with Weisblatt and McKenna on the kills, so you got to be sharp defensively even though you're on the power play if you're Swiftcurrent. Minute 10 remaining in the Tiger penalty kill for Medicine Hat Nissan, home of the new vehicle for under $30,000. And work Caswell, left circle, he'll snap a shot wide of the glove of Harrison Mennigan, and the rebound will bounce all the way down into the Tigers' offensive zone, forcing the Broncos to start from behind their own net.
Yeah, that one didn't miss by much. Clark Caswell, sneaky heavy shot going cross ice to the far post, unable to connect.
Broncos lift one deep into the Tigers' zone. Bernie, who got the first goal of the postseason for the Broncos, a minute 10 into the first period here of game number 2 in pursuit, not able to win the battle for it as the Tigers send it again down the length of the ice. 30 seconds remaining in the Tiger penalty kill, 2.5 left in the second. Medicine Hat up 4-3 here in game 2 over the Swiftcurrent Broncos, round 1 of the 2025 WHL postseason. Broncos work back into the offensive zone. Rondo flip pay in front for Desane, out of his reach, but Desane able to get a stick in and pry the puck free from the glove of Harrison Mennigan, who looked to be covering the puck, but Desane able to pry it free, although not able to do anything with it as the Tigers ice it.
And that'll get rid of the rest of the penalty time to Ryder Ritchie. He jumps back on the ice. 4 for 4 go the Tigers on the penalty kill.
Ritchie out there with St. Martin and Ward as the Broncos break back into the offensive zone. Puck's poked loose at the Tiger blue line, picked back up by Ritchie. He'll one-handed pass ahead for Ward. Feed in front for St. Martin, broken up, comes to the near boards. Merrick Rochak can't clear, Pickford holds it on side. St. Martin in the slot, has a lane in the left circle, drops back, Ritchie shoots, and a glove. Save made by Dick. Tigers have had opportunities aplenty here in the second period. Coming up in the second intermission, we will hear from Tigers leading scorer Gavin McKenna. He talks about the regular season, his incredible point streak, and how he can elevate his game here in the postseason. Tigers win the draw back to Ryder Ritchie, but it's too hot for him to handle. Broncos able to poke it to center ice. Tigers shove it right back into the offensive zone. Kettles back first for it for the Broncos. Works it into the right wing corner of his own zone. Back checking is Dale. He turns it over, though, to McKenna behind the net. Tigers can't complete a pass to Weisblatt. Broncos clear to center, 2-on-1 nearly. Carter Moen not able to handle the bouncing puck. Tigers back with it at center. Ryder Ritchie fans on a dump into the Broncos zone. That'll be taken back by Hunter Mayo. Left wing corner of his own zone for the Broncos. Cross ice feed to Kettles. Touched up ice for Connor Dale, who's shouldered off the puck by Ritchie. And that's a penalty on the Tigers. Wow, it'll be the 5th penalty kill of the night for the Tigers. They're getting Ryder Ritchie for a slash. And tough breaks is the political way to say it.
Yeah, it's a interesting one there.
Tiger bench. Tigers will be on their 5th penalty kill here of the night, brought to you by Medicine Hat Nissan. Caswell at the blue line, works it to Mayo. Back up top it goes for Caswell. Over to Misselbacher, he'll shoot. Puck's loose in front. What a sprawling save by Mennigan. He reached out with the paddle and kept the Tigers in front. St. Martin barrels into the offensive zone, overskates it in the left wing corner, and the Broncos take it back behind their own goal.
The goal judge there with the red light had it on. He even thought it was in the back of the net. Wasn't sure how Medigan was going to make the stop, but he did.
Harry Chance inside co-op plays. 37 seconds to go in the second period. A minute 24 left in the Tiger kill. And that'll get a little more off the clock as they ice the puck the length. 30 seconds left in the middle frame. On comes Volotovsky, Vysanen, Van Mulligan, and Pacheco. Broncos at their own blue line. Caswell drops it back to Gould. Gould flips one to his left for Peyton Kettles entering the Tiger zone. Touch back down to Gould in the near corner. Van Mulligan digging away at it as Vysanen has Gould pinned up here in the near corner. Doug Free Kettles in front all alone. Misselbacher missed the target. 3 seconds to go. Caswell left point turns it over to Pacheco. He'll just clear it the length of the ice. The Tigers lead 4-3 through 40 minutes over the Swiftcurrent Broncos. The Broncos win the second period 2-1, but the Tigers remain ahead by a goal through 40 minutes. Shots 21-15 in favor of the Tigers. Third period face-off brought to you by O'Reilly Advisory Group of Scotia Wealth. Talk to them today about your financial game plan. Tigers begin on the penalty kill, are unable to clear at the left point, held on by Ryland Gould. He's found the back of the net for the Broncos. Gives off to Caswell, touch to the point, Mayo, right side Misselbacher, back up top, Caswell, Broncos on the power play. 30 seconds left in the man advantage here, 20 seconds into period 3. Misselbacher down low, a pass goes to Ryland Gould. He'll feed to Caswell, top of the left point, touchdown Mayo, back to Caswell. Caswell to Misselbacher. He'll wait, walk to the right boards, play it down for Gould. Touch back up Misselbacher. He'll dart down the wall into the right wing corner. Be forced off the puck by St. Martin. Puck comes free to Molendyke. He'll connect on a pass with Matthew Ward, who skates up ice. Ditches one off for Hunter St. Martin. He'll head 1-on-3 into the offensive zone as the Tigers back to even strength. 50 seconds into period 3. They lead 4-3 over the Swiftcurrent Broncos here in game 2. The first round matchup between the number 1 seeded Eastern Conference team, the Medicine Hat Tigers, and the 8th seeded Swiftcurrent Broncos. Broncos turn one over at center. McKenna in pursuit of the loose puck. Can't catch up to it. Misselbacher back with it at center, but on the wrong side of center. Sends a puck down for an icing. A minute 12 into the third. Already a faster pace and less whistles than we saw in the opening minute of the second.
Call and penalty kill now 5 for 5 and a no-zone draw with your top group out.
Yeah, it'll be to the right of Reed Dick. Weisblatt out there to take it. He's on a goal per period pace. Wins the draw back to McKenna. Low shot. Intercepted in front of the goal mouth by Peyton Kettles, the Broncos defenseman, 6'5", 196 for the 07-born D-man. He'll clear to center. Tigers come back in. McKenna, what a pass to Richie. Touched in front. Weisblatt, a one-timer. Goes straight up in the air and lands in the right wing corner. Reed Dick just kind of stood there not knowing what to do or where the puck was. Broncos clear to center. Carden Moen able to connect on a pass to Connor Dale, but Dale lost the puck at the Tiger blue line. Back through center comes Weisblatt as he's upended by Dale at center. The puck will roll down inside the Broncos zone. Weisblatt turns it over behind the net. McKenna touched in front. Firing wide. Newton's on the one-timer. Tigers pressing. McKenna picks it up below the goal line, slips a check, sends one in front. It goes back behind the net. McKenna, Michigan! Can't quite finish. Puck rolled off the toe of his stick. McKenna back with it at the blue line. Do-it-yourself shift from McKenna. Blows a tire on the right wall, though. Turned over to Carter Moen. He'll touch it out to center. Tigers hammer it right back in. Newtons picks it up inside the left point. Walks into the left circle, fires a shot, that's blocked, goes right over to the right wing boards for Caden McCann. He'll send a pass to Tanner Molendyke at the left point. Molendyke waits with it, feeds one back in behind the Bronco goal. McCann in the left wing corner plays it to Molendyke. He'll shoot, deflection, save made by Dick. Newton's on the rebound, shovels it into the corner. Trying to pick it up is Veti Vysanen, but instead Carter Moen, having a great shift out there in his first career Western Hockey League playoff game, sends it down the length, not with legs for icing, as Pacheco bodied up here in the near corner of the Tigers zone. 2:45 gone in the third. 1-goal game. Tigers ahead 4-3 in game 2. They hold a 1-0 series lead here in round 1. Foot race for the puck in the right wing corner of the Tigers zone. Sawyer Dingman with a hard check thrown on Pacheco. Neither come away with the puck as Veti Vysanen controls it for the Tigers. The Finnish defenseman slowly works his way out of his zone for Medicine Hat. Feeds a pass up ice for the former Swiftcurrent Bronco, Matthew Ward. He'll walk into the zone 1-on-2 and fan on a wrist shot. May have had his stick lifted by the back-checking Sawyer Dingman as the Broncos will skate to center. Kurt Rooks crosses the red line and chips a puck deep into the Tigers zone.
Yeah, Dingman and Moen into the lineup for the first time this series. Both look good.
Tigers speed through the neutral zone. Jonas Wu leading the rush. Dishes one off to Misha Volatovsky on the right half boards. His pocket's picked by Hunter Mayo, who wraps it around for Peyton Kettles. I would love to get a time on ice stat for Mayo and Kettles. They have been out there a ton already this series for the Broncos as they'll break into the Tiger zone. Misselbacher giving chase behind the Tiger net. Wu throws a check on Misselbacher, knocks the puck free as St. Martin gets drilled in the face with a stick, so we'll see a penalty coming up here on the Broncos. Tigers will head back to the power play for the 4th time tonight, and now it's a question of, is St. Martin leaking? And it doesn't appear so, so it'll be a 2-minute Tiger power play, nearly 4 minutes into the third.
As you mentioned, Will, back on the power play looking to restore the 2-goal lead.
Power play brought to you by Cypress Motors Maple Creek, your Ford dealer with big deals in a small town. Tigers on the series are 3 for 7 on the power play. Every power play goal has come from Oasis Wiseblatt. He gets it in front through the legs, fires just wide. That would have been a cheeky goal for the hat trick. Tigers back with it at the point. Pickford, a one-timer. Paddle save made by Dick. Rebound directed into the netting and out of play. We've had a failed between the leg shot. What's next? Someone's going to go for the Forsberg?
Everything is happening.
Tigers win the offensive zone draw. 15 seconds gone in their 4th power play. Pickford, top of the right circle. Molendyk shoots. Goes wide. McKenna picks up the rebound left half wall. Touches to Wiseblatt in the left circle. He'll give it back to McKenna on the near side boards. Fed up high for Pickford. Pickford to Molendyk in the right circle. Back up to Pickford. To McKenna. One-timer! Stayed out. Now on the doorstep. It's fished off the goal line. Liam Ruck had a chance. Tigers can't capitalize. McKenna fans on a one-timer, rolls to Molendyk at the bottom of the right circle. He'll feed it down low out of the reach of Wiseblatt. Wiseblatt reverses it back to Molendyk on the right half boards. Touched up to McKenna. Back to Molendyk. To McKenna. Left circle, Pickford, one-timer goes wide, and it'll ricochet all the way down into the Tiger zone with a minute gone in the Medicine Hat man advantage. Tigers stretch pass for Wiseblatt as the Broncos are changing. Wiseblatt walks into the left corner of the Swiftcurrent zone. Touches one off to Pickford. That's overskated, and the Broncos head 2-on-2 shorthanded through the neutral zone. In comes Berzinski. He'll snap a shot towards Mennigan. Shoulder save made by the Tiger netminder as the Tigers try a stretch feed for Matthew Ward. That'll go the length, and he's just able to beat out the icing. Fighting with Connor Gabriel of the Broncos behind the Swiftcurrent net. Gets it in front for Ritchie. Couldn't corral the bouncing puck. Is heading for his skates. Connor Dale shorthanded down the left wing into the Tigers zone. He'll get tied up with Jonas Wu, who's able to get position and get the puck back. Tigers will break back up ice. They only had 4 skaters out there on the power play. 15 seconds left. McKenna drop pass for Ritchie. Back to McKenna in the slot. To Ritchie again. He'll reverse to the left point. Give back to McKenna. Cross ice feed. Ward. One-timer goes wide and out of play with 5 seconds remaining in the Tiger man advantage. 14-10 remaining in the third. Score remains 4-3 for the Tigers. Shots 23-16 in favor of Medicine Hat. With
Onto the pine and had a towel up near the mouth for a while.
Tigers win the draw. Quick shot! Saved by Dick. Rebound trickles into the near corner. We're back to even strength. 5-on-5. Tigers 2 for 4 on the man advantage. Ethan Newton's in the left wing corner. Pinned up by Peyton Kettles. Slips free with the puck. Caden McCann recovers it for the Tigers. Try to pass to the point for Molendyk without enough juice on it, so it's picked up by Ryland Gould of the Broncos. He'll dart down the left wing into the Tigers zone. Be bodied off the puck by Molendyk. It finds Mayo in the right circle. Hunter Mayo has the puck poked loose by Caden McCann. McCann touches it ahead for Veti Väisänen as Väisänen will cross center. Backhand a puck deep into the Swiftcurrent zone before peeling off for a change. 6:20 gone in the third. Tigers lead in game 2 of round 1, holding a 1-0 series lead. 4-3 the score for the Tigers. Broncos looking to tie this series at 1, heading back to Swiftcurrent on Tuesday. Tigers in the offensive zone. Gordon Carroll to Marcus Ruck to Liam Ruck. Shoulder save from Dick. The Tiger young line there with one of their best chances to find the back of the net, but not able to beat Reed Dick was Liam Ruck. Back in comes Gordon Carroll. He'll wire a wrister just wide of the Bronco goal, and it ricochets all the way down into the Tiger end.
Marcus Ruck picked up that puck on the potential one-timer on his off wing, so he's able to bang the shot. Instead goes past to the near side for his brother Liam, then gets the shot off the shoulder of Reed Dick.
Tigers beat out an icing in the Broncos zone. It's picked up by Jace McFallen behind the net. Turned over side of the goal. Wiseblatt with it for the Tigers. He'll walk into the left wing corner. Feed one to the slot for Ritchie. That's intercepted by Dale as he'll skate to center, but stolen away by Wiseblatt. Tigers weren't back on side. Whistle sounds. 8:24 gone in the third. Tigers up 4-3 in game 2 over the Swiftcurrent Broncos. Welcome back to Napa Auto Parts Tigers Hockey on Wild 94.5. The Medicine Hat Tigers lead the Swiftcurrent Broncos 4-3 in Game 2 of this best-of-7 Round 1 series, in which the Tigers also hold a 1-0 series lead. Face-off outside the Broncos zone, one back by Swiftcurrent as they'll work it down into the Tiger end. Carlin Dezane, the former Medicine Hat Tiger, in the right wing corner, drops one down for Gabriel behind the Tiger net. He's bodied off the puck by Bryce Pickford, picked up by Misha Volatovsky, fed up ice for Hunter St. Martin. St. Martin will touch one deep into the Broncos zone. Volatovsky on the forecheck, jars it free in the left corner. Slips by Matthew Ward. St. Martin on the back check, not able to hold that onside as the Broncos one-hand it down inside the Tigers zone. Pickford back for it first in the near corner for the Tigers. Touched up to Jonas Wu as he absorbs a check from Connor Gabriel. Is able to connect on a pass up ice to Misha Volatovsky, who will cross center ice and dump the puck and head off for a change.
Slight line adjustments now coming from the Tigers as Marcus Pacheco will drop down with this group along with McCann and Newtons, and Volatovsky took a shift with Ward and Ritchie, or with Ward and St. Martin rather.
And it's going to lead to possibly an odd man rush. Pacheco leading the way down the right wing into the Broncos zone. Lets a sharp angle shot go off the side of the goal. Pacheco on his own rebound touches it to the left point for Molendyk, who not able to hold that onside. Will see a whistle sound as Molendyk touched it right back to Pacheco, who wasn't quite back in the neutral zone. So a whistle sounds. 11:24 to go in the third. Tigers out shooting the Broncos 26-16, leading 4-3.
With the game being a one-goal game as is, you maybe want a little bit of that defensive responsibility. Not to say Pacheco can't do that, but it adds a little bit of versatility to the middle six group as well.
You mean Pacheco, who played defense for 7 games or something like that and had a 5-game point streak throughout that? I think he'll be okay.
I'm not saying he's not, but it's because he was also not really a centerman. He's been playing center the last little while.
Broncos dump one down into the Tigers zone. It's picked up by Veti Väisänen. Stretch feed for McKenna will be out of his reach and bank just wide of the Bronco goal. So icing called on the Tigers. Nearly 9 minutes exactly gone in the third. Fans getting the wave going here inside Co-op Place.
1 and 2.
They got a big section in the right wing corner here of the Medicine Hat zone. Right wing attacking corner for the Broncos. Left wing defending corner for the Tigers. If you're trying to situate that in your head, listening to Wild 94.5. Tigers win the defensive zone draw. Slow to get up Carlin Dezane. He's going to head to the Bronco bench holding his face. And sorry, make that Connor Gabriel, not Carlin Dezane. 14, not 2 forwards. Dezane remains out there. The Tigers break up ice. Molendyk, the other 2-4 for the Tigers. In the left circle, snaps a shot wide to the net of Dick. To the right point, Muhanen shoots, and a glove save made by the 20-year-old netminder for the Swiftcurrent Broncos as Peyton Kettles decides to give Ryder Ritchie a taste of Peyton Kettles' glove.
Both the Tigers and Broncos with the face-off to the left of Reed Dick.
Tigers actually going to quickly counter and put back out the line of Weisblatt, Ritchie, and McKenna, but they will.
They've got us both now.
Send Van Mulligan and Muhanen, the point men. Draw to the left of Reed Dick, the Bronco netminder, as the fans get loud here in Co-op Place. Weisblatt wins back McKenna. Ritchie, one-timer! Saved by Dick. Rebound cleared from the goal mouth. Broncos clear to center. Muhanen pokes it loose between the scorers' boxes, but it deflects off skates back into the Tigers' zone. Muhanen escapes free with the puck. He'll send a pass up ice for Weisblatt. That goes off his skates into the offensive zone. McKenna from a pass to Weisblatt gives to the point for Muhanen. Muhanen shoots to traffic. That's blocked. It'll be a 2-2 rush the other way for the Broncos. Dezane down the left wing into the Tigers' zone. Slows up on the half-boards. Backhands one towards the net, and that'll be paddled aside by Mennigan. Ryland Gould wraps it around the wall. That comes to Dezane, fed to the point for Peyton Kettles, has his pocket picked by McKenna. He'll touch it ahead for Weisblatt. Tigers 2-on-2 into the Broncos zone. Ritchie in the left circle, curls back up the boards, feeds a pass across. McKenna and Weisblatt both wanted the other to pick the puck up, and as a result, neither did. And the Broncos will begin to break up through center ice. Halfway through the third period, 4-3 Tigers in front in Game 2, looking to take a 2-0 series lead here in Round 1 of the 2025 WHL playoffs. Broncos cross center. Josh McGregor hammers one into the near corner of the Tigers zone. Connor Gabriel in pursuit for Swiftcurrent. Not able to win the battle for the puck as the Tigers head back to center. Gordon Carroll off to Liam Ruck down the right wing. Liam Ruck in front for Gordon Carroll. Not able to get a shot off. A save made by Dick. Back in the near corner, Gordon Carroll pinned up by Caswell. Puck comes free to Liam Ruck. Touchdown for Marcus Ruck. His stick lifted by Caswell. Broncos clear to the point. Wu holds that onside and chops it down low for Gordon Carroll. Gordon Carroll pinned up by Josh McGregor of the Broncos. Puck in between the feet of the Utah native forward for the Tigers. It comes free behind the net. Marcus Ruck waits in the right corner. Flip pass to the slot. St. Martin recovers it just inside the blue line. Walks to the slot. What a move. St. Martin on the backhand. Saved by Dick Puck loose in the equipment of Gordon Carroll, drops free into the corner. He'll dig it free, send one to the slot, just out of the reach of St. Martin.
Top end shift once again for the Ruck Twins and Schaefer Gordon Carroll, hemming the Broncos into their own zone, and the Broncos tried to counter, sending their top line over the boards.
They just feel like they're due. They've had so many chances, just have not been able to beat Reed Dick. And man, if that line can get going, not only would it just maybe blow the lid off this building, but the bench as well. Broncos now enter the offensive zone. Carter Moen, a shot trickles towards the net. Tigers cleared away before Mennigan's forced to make a save as Nilipeka Muhunen turning on the Jets, working one deep into the Broncos zone. Checked off the puck in the left wing corner of the Broncos zone by Grayson Berzinski, not shy of throwing the body around his Berzinski. Volatovsky digs it free for the Tigers, but it'll be chipped around Muhunen. Odd man rush for the Broncos. Connor Dale down the right side, shoots, and a save made by Mennigan. 7:56 remaining in the third as we'll have a whistle and subsequent face-off upcoming in the Medicine Hat zone, with the Tigers holding on to the 4-3 lead here in the third.
Connor Dale into a shot square into the chest of Harrison Mennigan.
And that's just the second shot of the third period as well for Swiftcurrent. They had 10 shots in the first, 5 in the second, and now just 2 in the third. We have 7:56 remaining here in period number 3 of game 2. Tigers up 4-3, win the defensive zone draw, clear to center. Kettles at his own blue line for the Broncos, sends a pass through the neutral zone. Ryland Gould able to tip that deep into the Tiger end. Pickford looking to clear, works it to Ritchie. Ritchie turns it over. Quick snapshot saved by Mennigan. Rebound covered for a whistle as the former Tiger Carlin Desane with the gift from Ryder Ritchie. And we'll see some pushing and shoving, but nothing will come from this. Linesman stepping to separate them. Face-off will remain inside the Tigers zone. 7:36.
Well, as it shifts around the ice.
Tigers send out the line of Volatovsky, Ward, and St. Martin. Combination that did not start the game together, but, well, they're together now. And Volatovsky wins the draw cleanly back in behind the Tiger goal to Tanner Molendyke, the player who was traded to Medicine Hat alongside back at the WHL's trade deadline. Tigers sent Jack Kachkowski, Hayden Arsani, and draft picks to Saskatoon. They clear to center. The Broncos back with it. Cross center ice. Rip one down into the Tiger zone. The ooze you heard where the puck jumping off the end boards to the side of the Tiger goal of Harrison Mennigan. Tigers able to recover and clear down inside the Bronco blue line.
Yeah, active glass there. Must have kicked off the stanchion because it came back with pace and nearly ricocheted off the foot of Harrison Mennigan.
7 minutes exactly remain in the third. The Medicine Hat Tigers lead the Swiftcurrent Broncos 4-3 here in game 2 of round 1. Looking to take a 2-0 series lead, heading to Swiftcurrent for games 3 and 4 on Tuesday. Tigers off a turnover. McCann in the slot on the forehand, shoots just wide of the net of Dick. Puck up on an edge, couldn't get the most of it. Now Van Mulligan, a point shot, hits bodies in front. McCann jars the rebound just wide. Newton's looking to dig it free behind the goal line. Instead, the Broncos turn it over at the point. It's going to be taken by Pacheco. He'll walk into the right wing corner. Marcus Pacheco, pass in front. Deflects to Muhunen at the left point. He'll shoot to traffic, and that goes just wide. Tigers are buzzing, but the Broncos finally able to clear the neutral zone.
And this pairing's been real good. Muhunen and Josh Van Mulligan doing much of the same, just keeping plays alive, throwing pucks down towards goal. And no shot's a bad shot at this point in the game.
Tigers send out the top unit. Weisblatt, Ritchie, and McKenna. Broncos counter through center with speed down the right wing. Connor Gabriel backpedals in the right circle, steps around Wu, flip pass near side for Gould. Had his stick lifted, couldn't get a shot off. Tigers head up ice 3-on-3. McKenna ahead for Weisblatt. Out of his reach is Mayo, steps into Weisblatt. Penalty coming on Hunter Mayo. I think that's an elbow and a high stick instead the call. So if there's any leakage on Weisblatt, it'll be a 4-minute double minor. Looks like it'll be a 2. Tigers on the power play. When we come back, they have a chance to extend the lead back to a pair. .552 left in period number 3 of game 2, round 1, Western Hockey League playoffs. Tigers lead 4-3 in game 2. Lead 1-0 in this series, are on their 5th power play of the night, which is now underway. Tigers win the face-off 2 cleanly. They'll have to start back from their own blue line. Tigers 2 for 4 on the man advantage tonight. Overall 3 for 8 so far in this series. Tanner Molendyke will start across center, touch one to his left for Oasis Weisblatt. He tries to feed a cross-ice pass to Liam Rock, which is intercepted and laid the length of the ice with 30 seconds gone in the Bronco penalty kill. Tiger power play, of course, brought to you by Cypress Motors Maple Creek. Bryce Pickford leading the rush into the offensive zone. Dishes one to the left wing wall for Weisblatt. Pass across for Tanner Molendyk, intercepted by Clark Caswell. He'll head up ice, 2-on-2 short-handed down the left wing. He'll wire one wide to the net of Medigan. That rolls to center. Liam Ruck drops it back for Weisblatt. Weisblatt with Molendyk trailing. Waits, gives it to McKenna at the left point. He'll hold, give back to Weisblatt. He'll wait, he'll take. Saved by Dick. Rebound comes to McKenna. Back to Weisblatt in the right circle. Weisblatt holds, plays up top for Wu. A minute left in the Tiger power play. Wu to McKenna. He shoots, hits Liam Ruck in front. That caught him in the shoulder as Liam Ruck, laboring, is going to head to the Tiger bench while the Broncos clear the puck the length of the ice.
Yeah, that's going to be a stinger for Liam Ruck. Took that shot square right in the midsection from Gavin McKenna.
Tigers break back into the offensive zone. Vicenen drops at the right point for Ryder Ritchie. He'll wrap one in behind the Bronco goal. Broncos try to clear. It's cut off at the left point by McKenna. Fed up top for Wu. Jonas Wu walks off to the right wall. Gives it up top for Vicenen. Vicenen to McKenna. Pass across. Broken up. Held onside by Vicenen at the point. To Wu. Cross. Ritchie robbed by Dick. That could be a game saver. Tigers still with it. McKenna waits, gives, Ritchie sends it off the side of the goal as Weisblatt gets knocked into Dick. Ritchie walks in front, shoots, he scores! Second on the night for Ryder Ritchie. And the Tigers, with a second left in the power play, restore the 2-goal lead. 3:53 to go in the third.
Well, we're going to have a conference here with the officials after there was contact made between Oasis Weisblatt and goaltender Reed Dick. And initially this was waved off as it was Merrick Rochak battling in front with Weisblatt. They waved off the potential interference call as saying that there wasn't enough there for the play to continue. So it does, and it doesn't stop. No interference calls made, and now the conference is going to be had. I would imagine if you don't call any penalty on that play from Oasis Weisblatt and then it continues, it's hard to now say that the goal doesn't count because of goaltender interference.
Yeah, and that's the key, is the call on the ice stands. It's a good goal, and the Medicine Hat Tigers restore the 2-goal lead with under 4 minutes left in the third. It's another power play goal, the first power play goal of the postseason, not scored by Oasis Weisblatt. It'll be Ryder Ritchie with his second of the night.
Place after the goal scored.
It's one of those things where stands and confirmed are very different.
His second of the playoffs, scored by number 21, Ryder Ritchie. Assist number 72, Gavin McKenna.
Back-to-back 4-assist games for McKenna.
And number 18, Jonas Wu.
Second assist of the night for Jonas Wu. Broncos with the puck at center ice. 3.5 to go in the third period. Reed Dick starting to look to the Bronco bench. Puck in behind the Tiger goal, controlled by Josh Van Mulligan. Fed up to Matthew Ward as Hill clear to center ice. That's touched by St. Martin, knocked into the zone by Volitsovsky, but since it was last touched by the glove of St. Martin, a hand pass called. So a neutral zone faceoff outcoming with 3:11 left in the third.
Just a great job done from the Broncos netminder as it appears the Broncos are taking a timeout.
First time since 2018. Broncos win the draw, take it at their own blue line. Hunter Mayo works it up the right wing wall to Luke Misselbacher. He'll wrap it around in the left wing corner of the Tigers zone. Caswell touches it to the point to Dezane. Dick will head to the bench. 6-on-5 for the Broncos. Tigers with it. McKenna going for the empty net. Glove down by Mayo at his own blue line. Turned over though. Weisblatt looking for the loose puck. Overskated. Mayo gets it back. Works it up ice to Caswell. He'll curl inside the left point of the Tiger zone. Touch it into the far corner of the Tiger end. Molendyk with it between his feet, pinned up behind the Tiger goal. It comes free to Misselbacher. He'll bank it to the right point. Mayo, his stick explodes on him. Weisblatt will knock it out of the air. Oasis Weisblatt. 3-on-1, gives to Ritchie, gives to McKenna. He'll score. Silencer from Gavin McKenna makes it a 3-goal lead for the Tigers for the first time tonight with 2 minutes and change left in the third. And Lance, it looks to be all but elementary, my friend.
Yeah, it's a broken stick that implodes on Hunter Mayo, and then a nice job from Oasis Weisblatt in the defensive zone slot to knock this puck out of midair and create it in transition. Weisblatt on a hat trick watch hands off to Ryder Ritchie, who's on hat trick watch, and then hands it off to Gavin McKenna, says you might as well get on the goal side of the score sheet as well. It's a 5-point night for 72 on the Tigers and a 6-3 lead.
5 points for McKenna, 4 points for Ritchie, 3 points for Weisblatt.
His first of the playoffs, scored by number 72, Gavin McKenna. Assist number 21, Ryder Ritchie. And number 7, Oasis Weisblatt. The time, 17:42.
17:42, time of that goal, brought to you by Straight Line Kia, home of the lifetime engine warranty. A minute 45 left in this hockey game. Puck tied up deep in the Tigers zone. We saw the Broncos pull the goalie down 3 last night. Doesn't appear they're going to do that again. Puck picked up by Sawyer Dingman along the left half boards. He'll drop on a Rochak, a point shot, hits bodies in front, rolls wide of the Tiger goal of Mennigan. Under 90 seconds left in the third period. The Tigers poised to take a 2-0 series lead here over the Swiftcurrent Broncos. Jonas Wu with it in behind his own goal for Medicine Hat, pinned along the end boards by Dingman. Puck bounces free to the bottom of the right circle. Jackson Gauchier tied up with Marcus Pacheco as the two go tumbling to the ice. The Tigers pick the puck back up as Jonas Wu feeds it on ahead for Ethan Newtons. Tigers 3-on-2 through the neutral zone. Newtons to Pacheco. Pass in front, intercepted by Rochak, cleared to the point as we enter the last minute of play here in the third period, and we're going to see some rough stuff start to boil over. McCann gets into the mix of things. Pacheco's lost his helmet. Everyone's grabbing a partner. We're dancing here in Medicine Hat in the final minute of game 2.
Sawyer Dingman, Marcus Pacheco there in the mix. You got Josh Van Mulligan pulling a guy out. Pacheco, he's looking at Merrick Rochak, talking to him, say, if you want to go, let's go. Meanwhile, you got Van Mulligan on the far side tied up with Kurt Rooks. And this started from a high and deep elbow from Sawyer Dingman into the back of the head of Marcus Pacheco. That conversation continues on the near side. Caden McCann getting the crowd fired up. Ethan Newtons is paired off with Jason McFall. And seemingly Pacheco Rochak will get split, and all will eventually find a little bit of a cooler temp.
Be out there on a shift and then fight in the same minute.
You got the puck on your stick. That's the only thing we're focused on. That's what you're saying?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
You get another look at it in-house.
Oh, yeah. That's a flying elbow.
It's a high finish through the back of the head of Marcus Pacheco. He took exception. Caden McCann comes in from the top of the top ropes looking for an RKO. Kurt Rooks, how you doing? Two-hander into the mouth, and from there the scrum is on.
The kid in the purple right beside the Bronco bench, loving it. Sawyer Dingman being escorted to the tunnel, and he just gave the bird to the Tiger bench, if I'm not mistaken. He gave them a one-finger salute. You can use your imagination to figure out what finger he used.
I would imagine so. And Veti Väisänen, not one that we typically see getting too verbal, and he's having some words. They show Rory here on the big screen in-house, and Rory's pumped.
Rory is fired up.
You know, he always has the same emotion. Excited. He always looks excited.
That's what you're supposed to have as a mascot.
Oh.
So Pacheco looks like he's going to be heading down the tunnel as well. Pacheco and Dingman were the ones tied up initially. And you've got McCann in the box. I can see Nilapeka Muhanan as well. There doesn't appear to be any Swiftcurrent Broncos, but it looks like we're going to be playing 5-on-5, and I don't even think Pacheco is serving a penalty. I think he's just taking a seat on the end of the bench. So I don't know what we're going to see called here, but Nilapeka Muhanan steps onto the ice. He's going to dart to the bench. Tigers still only 4 skaters, but okay, there we go. They put Muhanan's penalty up on the board, so he's, I don't know how that's working. He's on the bench. Tigers win the draw. Point shot from Väisänen leads to a blocker save from Reed Dick.
Well, to clarify, it really shouldn't, but we're here, so that's okay.
It's been a night.
Yeah, that's right. It has been.
Guess who has the puck?
That's Hunter Mayo.
Yeah, started back last postseason when he was with the Red Deer Rebels. Of course, the Rebels victorious in that series, 4-1, upsetting the Tigers in round 1. As a huge hit thrown by Mayo, right in the numbers of St. Martin. That's a penalty every day, and the Tigers still with possession. Might just look to kill this out as now Volatovsky has the puck stolen away by Carlin Dezane, and Hunter Mayo is going to be done 19 seconds early. As now Dezane goes after St. Martin, and Carlin Dezane might be getting picked out of this pile as well, and it looks like he will be.
Yeah, I would imagine that'll be the end of the night for Carlin Dezane. Hunter Mayo throwing a dangerous check into the numbers of Hunter St. Martin, who's no worse for wear. He's actually got a smile on his face in all of it. And every now and then, St. Martin could be a bit of a pest and draws the ire of the opponent. Obviously, has history with Hunter Mayo, as you mentioned, former Red Deer Rebel, and get a shot at Carlin Dezane. His night will be over. And I mean, it's kind of academic, I would imagine.
The Tigers are going to put out their top guns here.
Well, we just played 4-on-4, so I would imagine that we need now are 4-on-3.
Yeah, and they had 5 out there. This is funny math. Yeah, so Hunter Mayo getting 2 for whatever you want to call it, charging, boarding, checking from behind. It's one of those 3. So the Tigers will be on a 4-on-3 man advantage with 19 seconds left. They have Weisblatt, McKenna, Pickford, and Molendyk out for the offensive zone draw. For what it's worth, Weisblatt's a goal shy of a hat trick. He'll win the draw back to Pickford. Cypress Motors Maple Creek power play. Pickford shoots off the post. Rebound to McKenna, right side. Molendyk fans on the one-timer. Tigers looking to rub salt in the wound. Molendyk pinned up in the corner. Weisblatt to McKenna, top of the left circle. Rolls off his skates to Pickford. Pickford to McKenna. He'll drag. Pass comes back to McKenna. Pickford one times. Goes wide. But the Medicine Hat Tigers, a 2-goal third period helps lift them to a 6-3 victory over the Swiftcurrent Broncos to take a 2-0 series lead, heading back to Swift Tuesday night.
There's a lot going on there in the third, but 2-0. The Tigers win the third period, and once again, it's a shutdown. Final 20 minutes from the Tigers under a little bit of pressure, but they just don't give up a whole lot of grade A's. And whatever Harrison Mennigan did see in that third, he was able to turn aside, and Tigers will take that 2-0 series lead into Swiftcurrent Tuesday night.
6-3 final. The Medicine Hat Tigers see Gavin McKenna record a 5-point night. His 11th consecutive multi-point game, dating all the way back to February 15th. Ryder Ritchie, 2 goals, 2 assists. Oasis Weisblatt, 2 goals and an assist, help lead this Tiger team to victory. Fourth period, powered by Red Cliff Home Hardware, is next. We'll have an interview with a member of the Tigers coaching staff. Napa Auto Parts, major part of the period. And then we will wrap things up here from Co-op Place with the Tigers taking a 2-0 series lead, 6-3 to defeat the Swiftcurrent Broncos. You're listening to Napa Auto Parts, Tigers Hockey on Wild 94.5.